Hello, hello Virgo. Welcome to your January 2019 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Virgo. And while I pull these oracle cards, I just want to give a quick disclaimer. First of all, hello if you are new to my channel. And I also want to clarify a couple things. First of all, no, I am not an astrologer. And second of all, I am an intuitive counselor, so that is more my thing. It's definitely geared towards healing and support and wellness, and that is my wheelhouse. So just wanted to make that clear. And I also want to let you know, if you are on my Patreon or interested in relationship readings, I do those on Patreon, and those are sign specific. So they're big readings like this, but for relationships. And the January ones are going to be like an intention setting year ahead, like how you can prep for that, whether you're in a relationship or not. And you get the 2019 readings as well. Okay, anywho, let's do this. Virgo, first thing, cornucopia. Lots of stuff going on in January, so it looks like you actually have that variety. You have a good mix of things going on. Maybe you have professional stuff and relationship stuff, and this just looks like different areas of your life. Health, wellness, it just seems like you're pretty stacked on all these things. There's a lot of action this month. So we'll see how that manifests here, but it's starting to look busy already. The word of the month is restriction. I love this card. Limitations may actually be creative opportunities. Choose helpful constraints to make the big idea real. Don't be fooled by others' limiting beliefs. Okay, so when other people project onto you that something isn't possible, make sure you're pushing against that. Boundaries are going to be really good for you to have this month, so that's another thing you want to stay on top of. Okay, and the animal card for you is Fox. Look at you being clever this month, weaseling your way around, navigating different problems and obstacles. It just looks like you're working through a lot and just managing all the energies that are running in your space. So this looks like obstacles, don't even worry about them. You're just gonna slink right through and just wiggle your way through whatever it is that needs to be overcome. This is also particularly cheery energy, so I'm also getting that there's like a lot of excitement in that process. The central energy for you is the Emperor, so this is pursuit, like crushing goals, making things happen. You start off 2019 strong. I can tell you that right now. It's like the thing that you're after, the thing that you desire, the thing that you want is in the works right now. So if you haven't already seen a glimpse of it, then it's kind of like you're still working towards it. Maybe you're coming into more alignment so that this thing can make an appearance. But whatever the case, it's like you're taking all the right steps towards it. The crossing energy is the Nine of Feathers, fear. This is just fear. It's okay, but I'm getting that it's like things are a lot closer than I think you realize. It's just that as you get close to something that's new or exciting or uncomfortable or challenges your old belief systems, it will start to dismantle, and that's what gets scary. So I'm just going to encourage you to be really gentle with this part of yourself. You don't want to bully yourself if you're experiencing the Nine of Swords or Nine of Feathers, because that makes it worse. That makes it seem like the fear is you're crazy for being afraid, and that's not it at all. This is a very normal process that you're going through, and so it's just showing the closer you get, it's like those things are going to start to come apart in the best way possible. So you really do have to walk through the fear. You have to walk through the concern and resistance that you have in order to break through and get to the other side. So it's like you can slow down, but don't stop. And what's shifting out for you this month is the Fool. So I think you were really getting your bearings and trying to figure things out and just stay grounded and stable. And so it was that, like, taking the plunge, doing that new thing. You had that really vibrant energy in the past as far as whatever you initiated, and now you're really starting to lunge forward into that thing that you want, that thing that you're working towards. And that's why you're having that limiting belief, that block of, uh-oh, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. This can be worked through though, so it's not something that's gonna stop you. It's just reminding you that you can be really scared and really ready. You can be afraid and still have things work out. I know that a lot of people don't believe that, but I personally do. And so just remember that fear isn't going to destroy everything. It's something that exists within the mind, and you just have to challenge it. The oncoming energy in January is the Sun. Man, this card is relentless. I'm going to clarify this one for you guys. I swear, like 3 or 4 signs already have had this card come up. And we have the Two of Swords. So things are really going to be coming to light. All of the things that maybe you couldn't see, or that you didn't know, or that you've been really skeptical or wondering about. It seems like those are really having a light shine on them. So it's interesting because this looks like resolution and clarity around a lot of the things that were uncertain or feeling really cloudy. Because the Two of Swords is all about not knowing. It's that space of not being revealed and everything like that. So now that you have the Sun and the oncoming energy, it's just like, oh, everything's kind of making sense and coming together. So this looks good. It actually looks like you're coming into a really light period of time. It's just that January is going to be where you have to challenge yourself. The outward manifestation is the Hierophant. Boundaries, 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 boundaries. This is that restriction card popping up. So it's like, if you have an obstacle, if you have a constraint of any type or restriction, remember that it could be a creative opportunity instead. Like, there's other ways to figure out how to navigate it. And so the more boundaries that you have or that you're adhering to, it's supporting whatever situation you have unfolding, and it's definitely helping whatever this thing you're going after. This right here, the Emperor, because you can see how this is like a total pursuit card. And boundaries are helping you get there, whether they're being enforced by you or some other circumstance or person that you can't control. This is in service of everything coming together and flowing. So don't look at restrictions as a stop sign. You're working through them, you're navigating. In the subconscious, we have mindfulness. Take it easy, slow down. It's like this is super fast paced. Like the core is really intense in this reading, but mindfulness is sitting underneath. And that, at the end of the day, is the best thing that you can give to yourself. It really is the greatest gift, is just slowing your thoughts down. And this is really a cerebral process. It's not something that you're taking action on. It's all internal. How are you thinking about things? What are the stories that you're telling yourself? Really focus on all of those factors, and you might find that the way you're thinking about things will shift if you're just slowing down a little bit. Okay, the advice for you is the Star. I'm telling you, that thing that you're after, that thing that you want, it's all panning out. It really is. I just think that there are a few more things that you're really working through in order to be fully in alignment with the thing that you're calling into your space or that you've been working towards. It's getting increasingly better and it's getting easier. especially with this Fool card. It's like that wobbly baby deer that's just barely learning to walk, barely learning to do this thing. And it's kind of like, I know you want to sprint, but that's kind of where you're having those restrictions and limitations pop up, is to give you that final test or lesson to get you to remember what you need to remember in order to be the healthiest version of yourself possible. And so the star is like, you have to trust what you can't see. You have to, like, there is no choice. I guess there is a choice. There's always a choice, but the alternative is expect the worst. So do your best to challenge that part of yourself too, especially if you're always trying to brace for the worst case scenario. Leave a little bit of space here and question the fears that you have. Check in and see, are those legitimate fears, or are they, just younger parts of yourself trying to come up and protect you from something that probably isn't as scary as you think it is. External influences, we have 10 of shells, 10 of cups, happy, happy, joy, joy, celebration, all good things. Man, this reading is just, it's a good one. Like, I have to tell you, it's like things are really improving. I think that you are just working out a few kinks in your mindset. You're working out a few of those little fear critters, whatever gremlins you want to call them. And that's really what's helping you. The more you support your mind, the more things you do to help harness this, because you're working with serious energies this month. You have all majors except the Nine of Feathers, all majors in the true core of this. So it's just going to be a powerful month. I think you're going to see breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. If you've been working hard and hustling and doing your work, honestly, treat yourself really well, because the 10 of shells is just like, look, you've got it going on. You have all these things that are really in progress, even if you can't see them fully. I think that whatever you've been able to accomplish this far is worth celebrating, even if it's small wins. I'm all about celebrating small wins. I think people don't do it enough. So the 10 of shells is just showing, keep your chin up even if you're afraid, because there's so much goodness that is surrounding the situation and surrounding you. Let's see what the hopes and fears position has to say. Queen of Shells. Taurus had this as well, and it's reading very similar. So if you have Taurus energy, you'll hear this in that reading as well. But this is a double-edged sword here. There's the fear of vulnerability, fear of being hurt, fear of letting that guard down, and also wanting that level of intimacy, wanting that connection, wanting that nurturing and being cared for so badly. But it's vulnerability and intimacy require risk. And that is one of the biggest things that the Queen of Shells is good at. It's just, I think this is really speaking to a wound within you that's really young. If you can see the little baby otter. But that's part of what is coming up to be healed. That's what this fear picture is, right in the center. That's, why you have to trust a lot, because the experience that you had during that original wound is not necessarily what's happening in present time. Sometimes we manifest those, but it's also important to challenge them and to collect different data. So that's why this is really pushing you to be vulnerable, continue pushing yourself, and there's serious, serious good energy that's sitting in that space. And then the outcome of January, 6 of Shells. Okay, this is the soulmate card. This is the connection, nostalgia, kind of having that childlike naivete that you may have lost along the way, that's been tainted by whatever experience you've had. And this is just taking you back to basics. I'm seeing it as you really Actually, you know what? I want to clarify this. King of Wands. Okay, like reclaiming your power. I think through being skeptical of your own stuff, the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Feathers right here. Being skeptical of that and challenging it is really helping you to kind of wake up anything that's been dormant or asleep for a while, and it's helping you to get all of that momentum and power and fire back that you may have lost along the way. This is also, hey, if you're into fire sign men, you're all over it right here. Especially with the 10 of shells, the Queen of shells, the 6 of shells, and the star, this is straight relationship track if that's something you're interested in. Otherwise, this is major healing in January. Major, major, major. So anything that you have going on, it looks like you're just breaking through one right after the other. But please hold on to this 10 of shells, because this is very important for you this month, to not forget that this is what you have to work with, and this is a nice thing to have in your space. Now we're getting into the timeline. If you're new to my channel, we start here with the first quarter. It's about a week. Okay, so first quarter, second, third, and fourth quarter of January. So let's see what's coming up at the beginning of the month. We have the 7 of Pentacles. So I think this is such a Virgo card, getting everything neat and tidy and orderly, putting everything together, getting a strategy, putting all your ducks in a row, making sure everything is as it needs to be. And so that's what you have coming up in the beginning, is just like your strategy for the month. Great time to plan, map things out for yourself. Quarter 2, we have the 10 of Wands. I think maybe there's a risk of biting off a little bit more than you can chew right here. Maybe you planted a few too many seeds and you're going to have to dial those back a little bit. You know, I totally understand January 1st, you wanting to be like, I'm going to do this, 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 and this for my career every day. I'm going to do this, this, and this for my self-care. I'm going to go to the gym at this time, and I'm gonna, have this perfect evening routine, and wanting to just go all out. But I'm just letting you know that you can try. I'm not telling you not to try, but just be aware that you might need to clean it up a bit, and have compassion for yourself. Don't beat yourself up over it. Just integrate one by one. Now, third quarter, we have the Mother of Wands. So this does look like you being a little bit more fearful and restrictive when it comes to your vulnerability, because this is like, nope, I can't. This is that fear picture right here, and also popping up with the Queen of Shells, because I deeply want to be loved and adored and cared for, and I'm also terrified of vulnerability. And that's also, so you have that popping up right here with the Mother of Wands, where it's like, nope, cover up all of that ooey gooey center, like you're just keeping it contained. So that's what is happening in the third quarter. And this is the part of you where it's like, if you find yourself retreating or being really, really reserved, it's just about the 1% difference. It's not about letting it all hang out immediately. And then wrapping up January, this is the end of the month, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so it's kind of like this is a trial month, like you're healing a lot. So just be flexible this month. Like, trust that things will have shifted by the end of the month, so you're not stuck with any of the with anything that comes up, even like the little bit of overwhelm right here, or the busyness that's happening right here. And that's why cornucopia popped up as well, because you have this busyness and then there's a reservation and retreat. So the Ace of Pentacles is just showing you, look, there's always time to accomplish whatever it is that you're putting your mind to. So it's all in the works. All right, and now we're going to do a 3-card pick. So you are welcome to choose a card. You can ask a question, ask for guidance, whatever you need. Okay, card number 1. We have the Ace of Pentacles again. So don't be afraid of it, like trying and then realizing, oh, maybe I need to make an amendment. So I need to try something new at the end of the month. It's like, yes, the new year is a really great reset button, but it's not the only way to do it. So don't be afraid of going back, fine tuning, and then planting a different seed somewhere along the way, or adjusting a manifestation. You're not going to mess anything up. You can make these adjustments as you go. Card number 2, we have the Page of Swords. Pay attention to your ideas. That's going to be serving you really well. When I see the Page of Swords or the Ace of Swords, it's like, get your notebook out, jot down your ideas, pay attention to the downloads, because you might want to go back to those ideas later and they might have information in them for you. Or it might be you move forward 5 steps, you get more information, you take 2 steps back and reroute yourself. So all the information you're gaining is worth it. And then card number 3, we have Judgment. Okay, beautiful. So it looks like things are becoming more and more stable for you. Whatever that looks like, it looks like the consistency, the support. This is great if you're like trying to work through some relationship stuff. I'm just going to let you know right now that it looks like things are really starting to become more solidified in some way, shape, or form, assuming you're with someone healthy. Okay, so that looks good, and this is also a great time to make concrete decisions and commit. This is a good month to do that. All right, my Virgo friends, thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget, if you want to work with me one-on-one, if you want an intuitive counseling session with me and get your chakra system tuned up, you are welcome to check out the description box. All the links are down there. Love and relationship readings in the description box. You can go to my Patreon, and I will leave the link right here for Patreon so you can see the address. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram if you're interested. And until next time, have a beautiful, beautiful January, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.